All right, here's another episode. Back working on the Mustang again. I did get a VAM. It's up on the lift, but you can see it right there. And I just got a Spectra cheap hose to hook it up to the turbo for now. It's just sitting in there. Got it to crank. It has spark, but don't think I'm getting any fuel. So I just dropped the fuel tank back here. And this is the fuel pump. Pretty crusty in there. I might see if I can just find another tank. I'm sure they're not too expensive. Oh, you can't really see in there, but it's got about a half tank of gas. So yeah, the fuel pump, I'm pretty sure isn't gonna work. I'll hook up 12 volts to it and see, but I already ordered one. They were pretty cheap. So got a fuel pump coming. The gas in there is pretty nasty. Tank has some surface rust on it, so see if I can clean it. If not, I'll just replace it. Under the car looks real good. Just a little patch starting there. I'll probably peel that off or wire brush that off and throw some rust stop on there. Diff had a leak. Little 5-speed has a leak somewhere. Probably the output shaft. Probably a rear main leak right here. So I don't know, if I change the clutch, I will fix all that. Other than that, this car is super clean. Dual exhaust after the cat. Looks like all factory, still all original. Floors are solid. This is just a clean car besides the mouse nest and dash and glove box and the smell inside, but I'm gonna get new carpet and hopefully get it smelling good, replace the headliner. All right, I'm gonna get the fuel pump in. It'll be here tomorrow. Be only a few seconds for you guys, and we'll see if we can get this thing fired up. All right, hook up this. Send 12 volts to it and see if it works. Nothing. That is pretty gross. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is rinse out the inside of the tank. So now I'm thinking I should spend the 90 bucks and get a new gas tank. All right, I got my new fuel cell there in place. I got the fuel pump primed and I was trying to start it and had a big old puddle of gas underneath. And right here, this fitting, I already kind of pulled it out. It goes to the fuel rail. Oh, it's hard to see. That fitting right there that I'm pointing at is snapped off. So I gotta find one of those and get that going. Or get that replaced. I was gonna pull out the whole regulator and everything, but the oil dipstick tube's attached to the bracket, so I'm just gonna take this nut off, pull the whole thing out. All right, here's a better look at it. Just a little push to connect fitting under the hard fuel line. I think I can find that pretty easy. And then I should be able to get this thing fired. All right, I made up a new fuel line, got a new fitting. This should work. So I'm gonna slap this in real quick. All right, the fuel line's installed. I got the battery going. Hopefully it's got enough juice to start. I gotta draw somewhere. It was only at about 7 volts. Okay, I filled up my McDonald's fuel cell. Let's see if it'll start. Not enough juice. I'm gonna let this charge for a little while and I'll try again later. So I went ahead and just bought a new gas tank. I got a new sending unit in here. This is the fuel pump I was using. The new rubber grommet because the other one was pretty trashed. I didn't get the grommet for the vent. I probably should see if I can find one local, but I think the other one was okay. So now I just got to remove this pad real quick and transfer it over to the old or new tank. And I'm also, I don't know how hard it would be to peel this stuff off and stick it on the new tank, just to give it some protection, rubbing against the bottom of the trunk, maybe prevent a couple rattles or squeaks or something. All right, I got the new gas tank installed, filler neck and everything back in, cleaned up. I need to go get some gas. I probably put about a half gallon in it. Not sure if that'll be enough to start it. I put about 3 gallons of gas in there. Let's crank her up. All right, well, it's wanting to turn over. Still leaking some fuel down there, so my fuel line fix failed. I'll have to get a piece of nylon fuel line and see if I can put it back on there like factory. All right, so after doing a little research, I found that my throttle cable wasn't even hooked up. I found it tucked over here in the corner. This vacuum line was unhooked. This one down here was unhooked. The previous owner did say they were working on getting this off so they could port it. So that makes a little sense. I still got all this unhooked. That's still leaking a little bit. I bought a new nylon line to replace that, but I just want to get it running. I do have spark, so I'll take that off. I'm thinking I just had a huge vacuum leak and I didn't have any throttle. So I really think it's going to start now. So let's give it a shot. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm getting fuel. I'm getting spark, I can see that. So maybe I got a rat's nest in the turbo or something. So maybe I'll pull this off right up here, the intercooler, and see if I can get it to fire off, not on the turbo. All right, well, I'll keep trying. All right, I just changed all the spark plugs. I checked the turbo and the intercooler. No mouse houses in there. Everything looked fairly clean. I got the throttle linkage hooked up. I replaced the fuel line over there with a nylon line. I put a rubber one over top of it like it was from the factory, or like it was when I got it. I'm assuming factory. Here's the spark plugs that came out of it. A couple of them are pretty bad. They're all dirty and smell of fuel. So it tells me I'm getting fuel. And one thing, when I'm starting it, cranking it, the gauge, oil pressure gauge on the dash isn't moving. So I don't know if it goes like to 0 while it's cranking. So if I don't get it started this time, I'm gonna look up to see if there's a way to put a mechanical oil pressure gauge on there, just to make sure I'm getting oil pressure. But right now, I'm gonna try to start it again. if you hook the coil back up. Alright, got oil pressure too. Alright, I fired up. Didn't sound great, but it's running. Wouldn't stay running. So now I'm going to do an oil change and put fresh oil in there. I'm sure it's soaked in gas. I got to put this dipstick tube back in because removing this bracket pulled the dipstick tube out with it. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode. Got it started, running rough. So at least it's running. Has oil pressure. No gas leaks. Fuel tank's good and clean. New fuel tank, new fuel pump. New sending unit that's working. So fuel system's good. I was hoping I didn't have to take the injectors out and clean them or replace them, but all right, thanks for watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe. Any comments, questions, just ask below, and we will see you next time.